in my experience in last 20 years, working for multiple companies, small scale to the large scale companies, working with various sort of people, I ultimately ended up discovering my own self, right? So I was made self-aware by virtue of the experiences during these 20 years. So that's where I say that, spirituality is an inward drive towards self-awareness more than anything else. Now, even if you connect it with your religion or faith, it's more about self-awareness, giving yourself off, leaving away your ego, various things. So now coming back to the professional part of it, or the professional side of it, I believe, it all starts with the spark. When you get into your first job, there is a contrast change in what you were in your college and when you step into the company, how people behave, what is the culture there, what are the expectations there. You start understanding those things. So that is where you start looking at certain people who are at top positions, and you somehow start looking at them as your role models, because you develop your aspirations to grow to that level. Anyways, you become just an employee and you're responsible for your actions, you deliver what you're supposed to deliver. Then you get into the mid management level, where you are the greatest anchor between the ground level staff and the extended leadership and the board in many of the cases. And if you are able to survive that phase, because that's the phase where you will have a lot of issues which will come across to you, because you have expectations to be managed for the lower level and the higher level of people in your organization. But the learnings which you get there are priceless. You learn how to really manage the conflict. You learn how to manage the expectations. You learn how to negotiate and various other things, right? And then if you are able to survive that particular period successfully and you are able to establish your value for yourself, that is where your efforts will not go in vain, and because they are getting noticed at the top level, and you will certainly be called in for certain larger opportunities or larger responsibilities whenever there is a right opportunity which pops up, because you would have earned that credibility. So it's very important for us as the mid-management people to understand the entire gambit of this corporate culture and game, and then move forward in life. Anyways, and then you go towards the top leadership positions, where you start contributing to the society more, to the people more. You learn about people and you want to take the people along, because that's what leadership is. Leadership is not just getting the work done in a stipulated time with the best possible results, but it's getting the work done where people also are happy doing that work for you. That's leadership. Anyways, so when you step into the corporate life first, like I said, you start looking at the corporate traffic. All that is corporate traffic: different people, different expectations, different competences, different behaviors, etc. And that is when sometimes you feel that you should have a sixth gear of life, or sixth gear of corporate life, where you can just fly off. You can surpass or bypass all the traffic and you can simply achieve what you want to do, but which is not going to happen, because how many other gears you have, unless you really find your sweet spot or your place to navigate between the traffic, you cannot overtake them. So it's a desire, but it may not be of the help mostly. Anyways, when you are in the corporate traffic, ultimately you are on your route to your success, because success has definition as per you. It can have 7 billion definitions, basically equivalent to the number of people which we have. But when you are on the road, as on any road, we understand that roads are never going to be absolutely straight without speed breakers or without certain potholes. So there will be highs and lows in your life, and it is entirely up to you to tune your mind to understand and accept and acknowledge those highs and lows. Highs are still okay, because you will be happy and it's not going to hurt you, but the lows are the areas where you have to be really careful as a professional, because a lot of people break down at that point when they hit the low. So you have to basically understand the worst case scenario, what can happen when you hit the bottommost, and you have to do it when you are not at that level. So you have to be prepared well in advance. So if you understand that and then you move forward, you will be able to understand what's your worth, what's your purpose, and what's your might why this company was probably taking the services from you, or why they had hired you. There is certain talent, there is certain important characters or attributes which you have. That's where you were getting paid, right? So you can use it anywhere. Now, when we talk about this, in this entire thing, corporate traffic, working with various people, stakeholders, shareholders, management, junior level people, getting into the worst case scenario, negotiating, ultimately what you're doing is communicating. So communication is, I think, the key. It's the bottom line. In all the project management jobs or the courses, you will understand that most of the project management is nothing but the communication, to keep people tied up with the common goal, common objective, and ensuring that everybody understands where do we stand as a team, everybody is on the same page. And to really communicate well, you have to really dump your ego. If you bring your ego in between, you won't be able to dump that ego, and your communication will be probably one-sided, which will not be liked by the other person, and then the ego will come up there, and then there is a clash of interest, there is a real conflict, and that results to nowhere. So you have to understand, conflict at times might be good, but how do you manage it? That's a very important thing for us, all of us in fact. And when you try to handle the conflict, when you try to manage a lot of people, expectations, etc., you will get into the stress. But let's understand, when you sow a seed under the pressure or under the stress of soil, that is when it flowers, it flourishes, because that stress is nourishing this seed, right? But if you sow it in the concrete, it will never flourish, it will die, it will never come out of itself. So you have to understand that stress is good and stress is also bad. But what is that is good, what is that is bad? And that's wherein you have to take certain calls as a professional yourself, that this is it. I am not going to get myself buried under the concrete, right? So take the stress how much you want, you can push your limits, you can try to expand your limits, right? But you have to understand, where do you draw the line? And when we talk about where you draw the line, how do you handle the stress? Stress is bound to happen, we understand, right? Because you don't want to do the same thing every time, every day for entire career. You want to do newer things every now and then, right? And a lot of time newer things means you don't know anything about it, right? Or you have very little knowledge about that area, but there is someone who believes that you can still deliver. So they entrust their job to you, and then you get into it. So if you become afraid and you just leave that opportunity, your career is gone. So you must take the opportunity as it comes, understand, improvise, and navigate through that tough situation. So you be afraid, but you still do it, because there is a great amount of learning which is going to come after that. And you will also commit a lot of mistakes when you do this. And when you commit mistakes, you should not carry that mistake in your head forever, or even in heart forever, because that baggage of guilt will put another level of stress upon you. You might lose your sleeps, you might lose your patience, right? You might become intolerant to very, very basic things around you. So you have to be very careful with that. So do not understand what mistake you have done, learn from it, improvise, but do not carry the baggage of that guilt ever. What has happened, you cannot turn back the past. That's a very important message I want to give. And then, when this transformation is happening, ultimately, when you started as a first employee of your first company, right, and then you are into the management level, you have transformed from an individual to a team leader, to a player who leads a mass. So we have to understand that, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, transformation is the persistent reality. It will keep on happening whether you like it or not. If you keep up the pace with it, you succeed, you go with the flow, you understand, you learn, move forward. If you don't, you are stuck, you're saturated, your career is over. And a lot of people end up doing that, right? It's not that everybody is on the top of pyramid. The simple reason behind that is people, so first of all, we all understand that, we have the choices. We are the species who have the power of making the choice. So somebody might have chosen not to move into certain new direction because of various priorities he has in life. But a lot of times people do not do it because of fear of consequence or fear of failure. Failure is a consequence, and fearing that consequence stops them from doing it, because they are already settled in a comfortable couch. They do not want to try themselves out. They do not have that risk appetite to get into shit and clean the shit. But it's very important, because it's like, evolution is constantly happening. We try, we fail, we improvise, and then we succeed, and that's bound to happen. That's nature, and it's a principle. Principles do not change. So you have to be ready to try new things, even if you have certain fear of consequence. And then you also have to understand, when you're making choices, what's important for you, what's your priority. Of course, you have organizational priority, you might have aspirations to grow to the top of the ladder, but what are your ultimate priorities? So based on that, where you can strike the balance, based on that you make your path, make your goals, short term as well as the long term goals, and then you create an action plan around it, and then deliver it. Rest all is the project management. You all, I'm sure, understand it very, very well. I need not say anything about it or repeat it. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, you focus on your strengths, you develop yourself, you keep upskilling yourself, you manage people, you manage conflicts, and all these things by default you will end up learning. The thing is how well you learn and how well you put it into the practice. And in this entire circle of a professional life or a corporate professional life, if you are able to do these things to the best of your ability while improvising, you will earn the respect of people all around you, and people would trust you to deliver more. And that's where you do not need to go every time to people and ask for greater responsibility. Give me something big, give me something big. If you have proven yourself in what you are doing, it is getting noticed, and if it's getting noticed, sooner or later you will get that opportunity to deliver a much bigger task than what you are doing today, because everybody has a purpose ultimately, right? So either you realize it or your superiors realize it, but then ultimately the goal is same, to grow in your professional life. So with that message, I would say that kindly go through my first book. It's a humble yet very sincere attempt to write my experiences and learnings from around me in last 20 years, and I named it as Spiritually Professional, because it's all about self-awareness at the end of the day, because what you can control is you, me not others, right? So that's where I request you all to read through the book. Kindly order it on Amazon or Notion Press or on Flipkart, and please leave a review for me. Give me the feedback so that I can do a better job. I can improvise myself next time. Thank you so much for all your support so far, and with that, Rohit Chopra signing off.